Chapter 117. Lamech's Lament. Enoch is taken. After that, the people kept on living as if half dead for a long time, and found no joy in the world. And their desire was effectively to follow the main parents as soon as possible. The contempt of the world went with some so far that they built small huts under old fig trees, and for 100 years led a solitary life, and did not change their dwelling place for as long as the sparingly nourishing tree kept on living. Even many men swore to not touch a woman, for they said, in a sometimes not insignificant exasperation, "Why continue to procreate people? If every person has to expect the fate of Adam and Eve, thus the death and destruction of the flesh, it is better that he is not called into such a miserable existence in the first place. If God then wants to have such miserable people on this craggy earth, he can create them anew from stone and clay. We, however, who know what follows this miserable life, will never allow ourselves to be used to call unhappy beings like us into existence." Likewise did many women shut themselves off and could not be convinced to conceive. For also they said, "For death only animals should be begotten, but not people." And so abounded in the course of 100 years after the death of Eve, as well as the time after the death of Seth, the heights full of such misfits. And no words of the then still surviving Enoch availed something. Also no miracle to cure the people from this folly. But Enoch himself, since he saw that with these exceedingly smart people, nothing could be done by leaving them to their free will, finally also asked the Lord that he should take him away. And the Lord said to Enoch, "My most faithful servant, behold, still during this year, Lamech, your grandson, will have a son. You still have to bless him. Then I will also redeem you from this world, as I have promised you." And in the same year, when Lamech became 182 years old, Gamela bore him a son, whom Enoch blessed after the promise of the Lord. And after the blessing, Lamech said, "Noah is your name. He will comfort us in our effort and work on earth, which God the Lord has cursed." From this exclamation of Lamech, anyone can see that even Lamech's state of soul was no longer quite right in order, because by that he obviously accused me, the Lord, of a supposed curse of the earth. For he actually said, "With God there is no consolation any more, for he now finds pleasure by killing the bodies of the fathers. Therefore, his son Noah should become a comforter." But Enoch rebuked Lamech about his exclamation, and showed him that I now look at the behaviour of the children with an offended heart, because I myself convincingly promised, taught, and presented to everyone's heart another eternal life in the spirit after the passing of the tempting flesh. But Lamech said, "This I know as well as you, Father Enoch. But whenever I look at the certain eternal life in me, why can I never see those who have died? Behold, for that we do not have a teaching and no reason. Why are the spirits who have departed are not allowed to come to us and show us that they have life, even without a body?" And Enoch said, "What are you talking about? You have seen the spirit of Adam, Zuriel, and the spirit of Abel and Sihal. What do you want more?" But Lamech said, "Behold, with God are all things possible. Can he not call those killed back into a visible life and existence, if he wants to? And then we can believe that it is so. But if the visible existence withdraws, what then? Where does it go because it no longer exists to our senses? See, there the old curse can be seen. We are to be killed. We are to be cursed, but not to live. Where life is, it should be visible at all times, but not as if it were non-existent. Because of Adam's sin, the flesh of all people must be killed. What a curse! If I have never sinned, why should my body be killed for the sake of Adam's sin? See, this I think is cruel. Here Enoch blessed Lamech, went outside, and wept before the Lord. But the Lord consoled Enoch, and called him away with his body, and he was henceforth no longer seen on earth, although the people sought for him everywhere.